I know y'all ain't sleep at this time. Told y'all I could come at any time, man. And for whatever reason, I'm feeling it. Peace, peace, peace. What y'all on? Peace, peace, peace. Y'all up early as hell. Damn. I know y'all been doing y'all work. You got to be. Y'all up real early for no apparent reason. Grand rising, grand rising. How y'all doing, man? I ain't heard from y'all in a minute, man. I know y'all ain't heard from me in a minute neither. It's 4 o'clock where I'm at, bro. It just turned 4 a.m. I don't even know why I'm up. I just got the message, man. Hey, man, for a few years I've been talking about the golden age, or what they call like the Kali Siata or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I was already aware that we were stepping into it already. But I be hearing other like content creators or whatever, people that's putting out information, and everybody got different information or whatever, but pretty much I feel like we all talking about the same thing. You get what I'm saying? So way I'm looking at it now, it's getting more to a point to where like what's the word they was using, the grassroots level. So meaning like I guess all the regular people in society or whatever, people are starting to become aware of what's going on now. Either they noticing what's going on within the government or whatever you want to call it, but they're becoming aware. You get what I'm saying? And I just want to tell you, right? Because I already know how this goes. When you becoming aware of yourself and you dealing with this information, all that shit, we always feel like we got something to prove to somebody. It's not your job to paint a picture of yourself for the next individual. You feel what I'm saying? It's your job to move right and exact, however that is, in your mind, in your heart, in your subconscious. You feel what I'm saying? Because in this golden age, you're gonna see a whole lot of stuff like as you do right now, whether it's people with talents, whether it's scandal and propaganda and all that stuff. The thing is, you can't let it knock you off your square. That's it. That's all. You can't let it knock you off your square, and you can't allow anybody to tell you what square to stand upon. There's so many of us that done been indoctrinated with something, whether it's from like passed down from our parents, generational things like that or whatever. But personally, you got to take a personal look on everything that you having an experience with. You feel I'm talking about? And you deem what it is for you. You know what I'm saying? What's real for you and what's not. If not, then you just living off of what somebody else is living off of. And in the end, what they call in the closing of the closing of the age is supposed to be us entering the golden age. So the closing of the age is supposed to be all of the stuff that we trying to run from, we trying to get away from, and all that shit or whatever. We can't keep dealing with that. And when I say you can feel like, okay, I'm spiritual, I'm this, I'm that, or whatever. I'm not dealing with that. But it's more personal than just I read a book or what I'm saying, Ashe and all that shit. It's more personal than that. You feel me? Watch this. This is how I like it right now. It was just 200 some people. Now it's down to where it's set right now. These the real ones that's doing the work. These the real ones that's doing the work. We talk about the chakras and all that, and that's great. But the most important thing is the heart chakra. People talk about, what I'm saying, the third eye, and that's important too because the third eye is synonymous with your intuition, which is connected to your subconscious, which is also connected to your heart. You get what I'm saying? But we still got to open up that heart chakra. You feel me? You supposed to be able to love yourself in a way to where you are unmoved by any and everything. You get what I'm saying? Um, I see a lot of individuals, you want to be loved, but you got to love yourself. You know, it's men, it's women out here that's like, well, I don't want to be with nobody if they don't do this. And it's vice versa, you know what I'm saying, on both sides or whatever. But for an individual that will have a stipulation like that, you got to ask yourself, what am I providing? What am I bringing to the table? And that's with anything, any relationship, any, you know what I'm saying? It don't have to be intimate or anything like that. You get me? That's where we're going to right now. We talk a lot about how, uh, you know, we want to take back over the planet. We want to take back over the land. We want to do all this or whatever. But we have to know how to structure our own government, our own society, something. We don't have that idea. So let's just say if whatever, like the enemy, whatever you call the enemy, if they was not here, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna keep up the land, keep up electricity, keep up all of this shit? It's shit that you don't really think about, but it's important. You know what I'm talking about? And the reason why I say that is because a lot of stuff that, you know what I'm saying, you would hear on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, it's a lot of good information. Do not get me wrong, and it's connected. But you will hear it and you would think it's so important that your whole lives is wrapped around it. People forget about paying their bills. You feel what I'm saying? I'm one of the gods. I don't gotta pay my bills. You still have to pay your bill. We had to pay bills back in the day. It probably was not like this. You feel what I'm saying? But we still had to do it. Life still had to go. I heard somebody say this, and I felt that because y'all know, like, the life expectancy for men is shorter for women, but the life expectancy for women is still shorter than what it's supposed to be in the first place, anyways. The reason why, and it's not only the solely the reason why, but I felt what he said when he said it. Um, we living in a society. You got all of these negative vibrations. You got all of these gases. You got all of this MSG. You got all of this bullshit inside of the cities. The cities is for commerce and commuting and doing business. We supposed to be living on the land somewhere. You feel what I'm saying? Now, some of us can't do that, but that don't mean you can't, what's that word? That don't mean you can't be the God and, let's say, create that space for wherever you at. We don't even do that. We sit on TikTok, we sit on YouTube, we listen to people that we agree with, we find people that we do not agree with. You feel what I'm talking about? Argue amongst ourselves, argue amongst each other. You don't even know these people. I was talking to my sister. And I love my sister to death. And I was giving her some advice, you know what I'm saying? Because she says she has a friend and you know, they all collectively, you know, looking for jobs, trying to better themselves or whatever. She says she has a friend that's like, she get help or whatever. So while she getting help, she not really caring about the rest of her other friends or whatever. So my sister feeling like, shit, you like the ringleader of us of us being fucked up, basically. And I'm telling her, like, what are you getting paid for gathering all this information from sitting here and watching this individual and whatever she does or whatever? What are you getting paid for that? You feel what I'm saying? She says nothing. How much energy are you putting into it? I'm putting a lot. So you might notice, okay, this individual is not good for me. I got to cut this individual off. That's cool. You notice that, then you do it. Don't spend no time putting energy into it. And that's with anything. Anything that's not going to benefit you. And it's a lot of things in this world that's not going to benefit you that sound good. You know what I'm talking about? It sounds good, glitz and glamour, all of that. But is it really for you? I like I like to rap, right? I don't like this, you know what I'm saying? I don't age. I ain't one of them people that's trying to play it like, oh well, you know what I'm saying, I'm getting older. No, I'm 26 years old, but I don't even like to use that. But I'm 26 years old. I've been rapping for 20 years, like writing music for 20 years, you feel what I'm saying? And it was a thing for me. Like I wanted to do it. You know what I'm talking about? Like I've dropped music and all type shit, but like I wanted to do it and be like an artist for real, for real. But when I gained consciousness a few years ago, I thought like maybe I can, you know, maybe I still can do it or whatever. But the more and more I became aware of myself, the further and further that thought got away from me. Because it's like I'm seeing what's going on in the industry, and I'm not really one of those people that sit back and watch and try to make videos on what this person is doing and who's like. I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? But I know some of that got to be real. I don't want to be involved in none of that because I'm type person like now, how I am now, I'll be damn near rapping on the stage. And when I'm done, or even before that shit, we probably don't need to get to the song because I'm giving a lecture on some spirituality, trying to tell you about yourself. And I already know that artists like that, they ain't fucking with them. So they're gonna pull some propaganda, a scandal, all type of shit. Next thing you know, I'm up out of here. So why even dive into that? I don't even want to get involved no more. But that's personally just me. Not saying you can't, not saying whatever you want to do, you can't do. I'm not saying that. You can do whatever you want to do. But you got to be fully aware 100% of what you're doing. Sometimes, right? Watch this. This is why I don't like to talk about the industry and shit like that, right? Because like y'all know I'm from Illinois. So when I hear a person that claim to be spiritual, they be, oh man, these people in Illinois. You don't know Illinois. You don't know us. So when you get to spitting all that or whatever, you don't know the mentality of a person that's from Illinois. I know. And so on top of being spiritual, whatever, you know what I'm saying, I see more than the obvious of what somebody gonna say. Somebody died, oh well, they got sacrificed. You don't know that these people be unaware. We be knowing shit. Spiritually, yes, we do. I'm not taking that from us. But these people don't be aware of nothing. You feel what I'm talking about? Even if, you ready for this? I hate when we become spiritual and we just like to down people. You get what I'm saying? No, bro. Whatever somebody's into, you feel what I'm saying? You gotta allow them to do that. I see all these Muslims. I see all these Christians. I see all. I used to be one, and I used to be like, oh man, that shit ain't nothing. But they're spiritual. I guarantee you, they're getting somewhere in their life, and they feel like it more than you probably do, because you worried about what they're doing and what's not right and what's. But that's not what spirituality is about. See, people don't want to hear that. They want to hear, well, nigga, well, God ain't real. Well, nigga, Allah, this, that, and third, or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta study and understand that to know. You gotta take yourself all the way to that point, to the highest point of yourself, to be able to experience these things, to prove to yourself that it's not real. And when you do, you're not even gonna be around here like a person that's dealing in that. You're not even gonna be trying to convince them if it's real or not. I don't got the time for that. I don't got the time for that at all. Then the people that aren't spiritual, that are just strictly religious or whatever you want to call it, they look at us as if we don't believe in let's say a higher power. We ain't gonna say God, a higher power. If we can sit up on here on TikTok and explain this, meditate and experience this, what is that? What are you doing when you sitting down and praying? I'm not just talking about one side. I'm talking about both sides. Because it's bullshit on both sides. And until all of us come together and understand we got one common fucking enemy, we're gonna be sitting around this bitch, running around this bitch like chickens with our heads cut off. You know what I'm talking about? And it's definitely the mind. It's a mind thing, you know. But everybody respectfully has their own um set of information that they come to bring out. And it's up to us. You know what I'm saying? If you're not one I'm not one, bro. I'm just like everybody else that's getting information. So if you not one that really put your life down, because you know the ones we have them. We have the ones that have been out for 20, 30 years, and not just them, but you know the energy when they putting out this information, and you just know like, man, okay, this is what this motherfucker came to do, right? It's your job to sit there and take that information. The shit that you don't agree with, you don't argue that. You feel what I'm talking about? But watch this. What Bobby Hemmings say? Bobby Hemmings said one time he was in some like group with what was it, Richard King or some shit like that? I forgot. But he was in a group. It was a Muslim brother and it was a Nation of Gods of Islam, so a 5%er brother. And the 5%er was telling the Muslim guy like there is no absolute. There isn't. You feel what I'm saying? What does that mean, bro? That mean like if you ask a person a question and they give you that answer, you ain't just supposed to just take that and run with it or whatever because it sound good or because that was the only answer that was given. There is no absolute answer. So what he said was, you can give it a week, give it at least 1 week to ponder on it and see don't you change your mind or something. That's with anything. Most of us like to talk about Christians and say, well, you know what I'm saying? Because as soon as a person talk about Christianity, well, man, that's a false God, that's the white man God, that's this, that, and the third, and woo out the bam. But mind you, this was probably passed down generational, just like us. Just because we were, let's say, spiritually strong enough or conscious enough or whatever to not get caught up into that. That's only saying that you didn't been doing this in your past lives. So how can you down somebody? You feel what I'm talking about? Because you was probably like this a few lives ago. How could you down somebody for going through the same path you went through? The reason why you're not dealing with Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and all of these major religions is because at some point in time in your life, and what do I mean by life? I'm talking about your actual life. So when we talking about life, we just thinking about the life that we living right now. But no, you can't be that selfish. You done had many lives. So in that time span, you done dealt with all of this, right? Because going back further beyond this that we living in right now, we had individuals that was able to write these systems right outside of their souls. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my blunts. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Writing this information right outside of their soul. So it's literally a story of the soul. This is why they always say you deal in the mythology. The mythology is actually the mystery. My story, which would be your story if you're saying it. You get what I'm saying? Not history, not his story, not what was given to you, but what you can go back and ponder on inside of yourself and realize and reveal to yourself. That's what the apocalypse is about. The apocalypse or the revelation. You feel what I'm saying? The revelation is the great revealing, or the apocalypse. The apocalypse. The revealing of what? We know what age we living in. You say it all the time, the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is what? The age of information. So if the age of information is the apocalypse or the revelation, it's the age of revealing. And we not just revealing truth. Because it's a lot of things, false things that comes out to be truth, right? But it's the personal truth. So you're supposed to take all of these truths, right, that you either agree with, don't agree with, or whatever, and you formulate your own personal truth. I don't think we know what's going on right now. We think it's gonna be one thing. That's what you want. You want us all to agree on one. We never been like that. Now it's gonna be like some sort of a universal mind, like we have some form of a universal understanding, but it ain't gonna be all just one religion, no, it ain't gonna be none of that. But we're gonna be so connected to where you would feel like it is that way. And if let's just say this happened again, and it may happen again, what we went through, because what's the word I'm looking for? There's nothing new under the sun, and we have cycles that just keeps on going. So if this ever happens again, you will have individuals writing about what we're doing right now, writing about what I'm talking about, what Bobby Hemmett talked about, what Reverend Phil Valentine talked about. You feel what I'm saying? Brother Panic and everybody else that came through. That's what will be happening. And niggas gonna be arguing about it and everything else. Where you at this one tripping? You know, that's what's going on. They was able to infiltrate us in a way to where they got the children. You know what I'm saying? They got the children and like indoctrinated them or whatever. Now we just running around just doing whatever, right? But you know what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be going inside yourself. You ain't supposed to be coming up with a system to gather everybody and try to save everybody, because you ain't gonna be able to do that. Now if and when you find yourself a king or a queen, you feel I'm talking about, if you haven't already, and both of y'all are vibrating on that level, and you're able to create something, you feel I'm saying, outside of your own respective families, that's what you do. You feel I'm talking about? That's what we have always done. we live in a world with one sun. But most of y'all don't know that at one point, and we not even gonna get deep into this. You just look this up. This ain't got nothing to do with spiritual. It does, but not really. But at one point in time, the earth was a binary star. Well, where we live in, our solar system was a binary star system. You know what I'm saying? So what does that mean? We had two suns. It was some form of balance here. Science talks about this, and the ancient Aztecs talk about this. Before we had what you would call a moon. And I don't even like getting into that. But I do like to equate it in terms of like relationships and shit like that or whatever. You have to have some form of balance. But first you gotta find that balance in yourself. If you a male, you gotta tap into your divine feminine. If you a female, you gotta tap into your divine masculine. See, when people be saying this, I think people be thinking, because it don't matter who says it. I think people be thinking like, we just be saying, oh, the female's a female. No, females was way more aggressive than us. Y'all was here before us. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all was here before us, created us to do what we doing right now, to be what we are right now. You feel what I'm talking about? But somewhere down the line, you have something that was foreign from us, alien from us. You feel what I'm saying? That overpowered us in a way, and then only using the patriarchal system. So now when we say that, I'm not saying, women, y'all should be more feminine, or men, y'all should. No. Everybody is patriarchal. Everybody is patriarchal. So everybody has to tap into that source, that dark source within inside themselves to balance themselves out. That's what I'm saying. But, to each his own. I can't tell nobody what to do. I'm just saying what I see, bro. You feel me? I'm just saying what I see. Hold on. I gotta roll this up, bro. But we living in the actual golden age right now. We're seeing what is that word? We're seeing the beginning phases of it, right? What are we doing for ourselves to prepare ourselves for the future? I'm not one that's talking about that likes to talk about and I'm finna say it, and I don't care what you say. Well, we got to make the earth better and all that stuff. I'm not saying we got to destroy it or whatever, but I come from the old teachings. The old teachings of study the mystery. And the greatest mystery was what happens when you're not here no more. If anybody knows me, right, this is what I've always talked about. But that doesn't mean I don't know a flip side. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean I don't understand the aspect of the golden age. You feel what I'm saying? I do understand that. But I know what I came here for. I came here to remind individuals of who they were. Not who you were like, man, we Anunnaki, we this, we that. We above all of that. You feel what I'm saying? We above all of it. When we leave here, I'm not saying we leave here, we going to heaven, or we going to Nibiru, we going to Kachina, we going to Shamba. I'm not saying none of that. This Crystal City, all that shit's still here. When we leave from here, let's just say it like this, because this is how it used to be said. Universe A, this is where we at right now. When we leave Universe A and go to Universe B, right? Ain't none of this gonna ever be existed. When you leave from here, none of this that you had experienced, none of it ever existed. None of it was real. None of it's gonna matter. You feel what I'm saying? The dark side people, Baphomet ain't gonna matter. The flip side people, the right hand path, the pentagram ain't gonna matter. None of it's gonna matter. Christians, Jesus ain't gonna matter. Muslims, Muhammad and Allah, none of that's going to matter. All of that is helping you understand who you are on the highest point of yourself, so that when you leave from this place, right, you know how to govern yourself, right? Think of it like a miniature game or some shit like that or whatever. It's a game called No Man's Sky. In that game, you could travel to galaxies, like different stars. It's like literally the game's so big. I mean, but I played it, so it's like it ain't really what it's cracked up to be. But how it sounds is pretty much what it is. It's supposed to have like 800,000 something different star systems in there. You just travel to all these different places or whatever. But it's really repetitive. But what I'm saying is you look at the Bible, right? Tell you how you born and all that stuff, whatever. If you break down if you break down you having sex with a woman and all that stuff and creating a child, it's literally the same thing. So that's on the small scale. You feel what I'm saying? Then you have people that come out and start inventing things and shit like that or whatever. You feel what I'm talking about? Now you want to go to the skies or whatever, venture out or whatever, this things like that or whatever. You gotta be prepared for that. That's what I'm saying. You gotta be prepared for that. If you're not prepared for that, it's over with. It's over with. Because right now, while you in this physical reality, all of this is just the school. So watch this. That's why I say we ain't Anunnaki and all of that other shit. Because all of them beings, right? I don't care what nobody say when they be like, oh, well, I tapped into a spirit. You could do that. But we not talking about that. We talking about these people saying people coming to the skies. So for even, I don't care how technologically advanced you are, that the people that they call the enemy, they got to be advanced, utilizing some shit that we utilized 5,000-6,000 years ago, right? We just don't know that. So you have people that's coming from a star system because of why? Because their son died. But what are they traveling in? They're traveling in, what do you call that? Nibiru. For those you don't know, Nibiru is supposed to be big to fit like about however many, like 8 9 Earths inside of it. So that's how big it's supposed to be. You feel what I'm saying? But Nibiru was a dead sun that they knew how to what's that word? Reanimate, right? Now we don't know what's going on when they say all these things. We hear it as, oh, this is amazing. They were just raw. No, we just haven't got to that level yet as a planet. If you ever listen to what Elon Musk was talking about a few years ago, he was talking about the different type civilizations. Type 1, type 2, type 3 or whatever. That would be like a type 2 or type 3 civilization. Those what do you call that? Like the Anunnaki or whatever. Cuz what they done was they was past the Dyson sphere phase. The Dyson sphere is when you build like a contraption over the sun or whatever to basically power it up again. So obviously it was past that because when their son died, it was a dwarf sun. They was able to live inside the sun. So this is where you get that whole concept from, whatever, right? They couldn't have been that advanced is what I'm getting at. We talking about something else is what I'm saying. When we dealing with this spirituality and we meditate and we doing all that, we able to experience something past that is what I'm getting at. We able to what's that word? We able to mentally manifest things. You see what I'm saying? And then you got different spirits. This is what you call them. You got different spirits or whatever that utilize um technology as well in different dimensions. Like people here utilize technology, but some of us that call ourselves spiritual, whatever, we utilize what we call our mind, our ashe, and things of that nature. So you want to increase that, not just your mind, your conscious on that level. You get what I'm talking about on a technological level. You want to have some form of spirituality. So what I'm saying is, let's just say, it's real, it's not real, whatever, right? What they're saying is, right, these people, these beings or whatever that we come from or whatever, they just supposed to be like an advanced species that exists somewhere in the galaxy. Bro, we could do that here. We could do that here. You see what I'm saying? Mind you, right? Mind you. This is the reason why they left. They left the galaxy that they was from because the stars that they had 3 stars. The stars that they had, um, was too much energy, too much light or whatever, and it was messing up the electromagnetic sphere or whatever. It was causing too much radiation. And let me tell you this, right? Because this just don't sound right. If these beings, because mind they what's that word? They promote it like as if it's that's what we are. You know, these melanated beings, these, that, and third, or whatever. If you understand melanin and radioactive energy and all that shit, you will know that it absorbs it. So if these beings were so advanced how they were, why would they need to come here to where we at right now and mine gold? Just think about that. That's what I'm saying. So this is why I say we're all of us, we're all beyond that. Now your soul might have like some connections to that shit or whatever. You get what I'm saying? But why? Because your soul was probably there when all of this stuff was being written. You get what I'm saying? Or where at that time. That's all I'm trying to get at. So I can't necessarily say, hey, you so and so, so and so. You feel what I'm saying? You gotta reveal that shit to yourself and to the world. But you can have individuals, right, that's gonna come and be like, well, you know what I'm saying, we this, we that, because they didn't that's how far they got inside of themselves. Or probably they just broke down the information enough to be able to just get that. And you're gonna find that. You're gonna find a lot of these species, these great beings or whatever that mirror us. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say we mirror them. You say they mirror us. You gotta understand what your essence is and where it comes from. The building blocks of what makes the earth and everything, you feel what I'm saying, is these things called elements or whatever. If you understand the relationship that you have with these elements and the relationship that these elements have with what you call the gods and how they operate in the dimension that they exist on or whatever, you will truly understand who and what you were for real. Am I saying that these beings don't understand that? No. What I'm saying is, in reality, these beings aren't really real. They're aspects of us because what you would call a mineral, an amino acid, uh, a nucleotide, and all shit like that, right? Biology, all of that shit, what you would call on a microcosmic scale, these are the gods that a lot of people are praying to or dealing with. They showed you this in Ant-Man when he got so small and he went to the quantum verse. That's why everything is talking about quantum physics right now. You feel what I'm saying? Or the different timelines, because all that shit is connected. But they want to confuse you. You feel what I'm saying? They want you thinking that you got to do all this and all that or whatever just to get involved. But you've probably been doing this your whole life just by dreaming. You feel me? So, with that being said, I'll be getting back to what I was saying. We in a golden age, and since we in a golden age, you experiencing a whole lot of shit right now that probably nobody else is experiencing, and that's okay. That don't mean you're not experiencing it. That don't mean it's not real. You don't have to share it with nobody. But if you do not allow anybody to down your experience. You feel what I'm talking about? Or shrug it off. You feel me? Like, no, that's not happening. You feel what I'm saying? Because what that would do, that would make you discourage yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Now you ain't really trying to tap into the shit you was just tapping into. But mind you, once you open your eyes up or that eye up, it ain't no turning back. Somebody told me that, and that's really the truth. Because don't get me wrong, as much as I know and as much as I love where it brought me, sometimes I be just like, damn, I just want to turn this shit off. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just be want to turn this shit the fuck off. Because you think because you're not a celebrity, because you're not a famous entertainer, because you're not famous and have what you would call clout, you're not like you're a regular person. You're not a regular person. The regular individual that's doing day-to-day things right now in life is not what's that word I want to say? Cannot or does not have the ability to fucking take this information in. It literally does something to them. That don't make you greater. That don't make you lesser. It does make you a little stronger because you can handle this shit. And if you've been on this path for a long time, actually do you nigga, you could be on the path for a few months, but really be doing it. You know, some people be aware of certain things and feel like they're on a path, but you're not really on a path because you haven't really done no work. You ain't had it hard yet. You got on some crystals and said Ashe, and thank you to the ancestors or whatever. But that wasn't enough. You know what I'm talking about? And because it wasn't enough, you feel what I'm saying? You just living your life within an illusion. But when shit started to happen or whatever, you think all that shit that you done learned that you really didn't learn, you just probably regurgitated or whatever, all the work you thought you put in or whatever, man, what's going on? No, you done something that triggered that. Now you having this experience in the universe, the ancestors, your spirit guides or whatever is showing you the way. It's up to you to listen. I still care what people think as yeah, bro, listen. It's okay too because don't get me wrong, I still feel that way. But it's not about like dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said earlier, like I rap. Don't get me wrong, I be going crazy. But I say that just to be honest. And I probably would rap for somebody. It just I probably turn on the beat or something, but I'd rather not. When somebody be like, "Oh, rap from me," no, I ain't doing that. When I was a kid, though, I used to just freestyle like a motherfucker, or whatever. But I don't know. I got stage fright. You feel what I'm saying? So it just is what I could sing. I could do all of that shit, bro. I just, you know what I'm talking about. I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? But what I notice is when I be by myself and I'm listening to my songs, cause I be needing to rap out loud. You know what I'm talking about? I can't just sit there and murmur to myself. Like my brother, I got a brother that raps too, but that's my dude. So sometimes I rap with him and shit like that. I go crazy. But I be still needing that time by myself. You know what I'm talking about to ponder up my thoughts. Yeah, man, that's my shit. So I don't know, like, but if I ever became um like famous or anything like that or whatever off my music or whatever and all that shit, I know it won't last because I'm already starting to implement spirituality inside my music, and I know people ain't even gonna understand what I'm saying anyway. Not people. I'm talking about the regular people. It ain't gonna. It's only a few people that listens to what I say when I'm speaking this right now. I'm talking about as far as like on the internet. If you know me in person, you know this is all I talk about. But I don't know, man. I just found some. I found something else, man. Like there's more things important in life than just sitting around. Like I said, like that's something like you say. I enjoy doing it, but I can't sit here and enjoy life while witnessing what I'm witnessing. And maybe I care too much, but I came here for a reason. We be always forgetting that we chose this shit. And as hard as our lives is, that's because we are strong enough to, you know what I'm saying, consume that shit. You feel me? And what you consume, you overcome. They like to say you are what you eat. And you are. You feel what I'm talking about? But you also overcome it. What do I mean by that? Like you can eat hot dogs, you can eat burgers, you can eat all that stuff. We know what that do. You feel what I'm saying? But you can also overcome it. What do I mean? Bobby Hemming used to always say, man, you can mentally mind is over matter, yada yada yada. On the flip side, right? You could just stop eating that shit. You can stop eating that shit because watch this. I don't think people understand when a person be telling them like about the health shit. I eat healthy. I just like started back eating chicken and shit, but I still eat healthy though. I gotta eat a lot of vegetables and fruits and shit still. Well, mainly fruits. But you can eat like all of that, the different meat and all that shit or whatever. But all of this shit is still sentient and aware of itself. So think about the condition that the animals was in before you consumed it. And I'm not telling the person not to. I'm saying if you're gonna do it, it's an alternative to it. Get your own animals. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna sacrifice our own animals or whatever and prepare them ourselves. We want somebody else to go hunt our animals. We don't want to do it the old way. So because of that, you got the animals that's being pumped with a whole bunch of shit. You take on all of this, right? Versus if I'm eating a apple or a banana that's grown on the highest part of the tree and it's getting the most part like the most light from the sun. It's getting all the light codes or whatever. I'm consuming all of that. Yeah, man, clean meat. If you gonna eat beef, I'd rather you eat bison because nigga, we never had cows. We had bison. Why you think the colonizer? See, when I'm just gonna say colonizer because colonizers don't mean white. It just don't mean white people. You feel what I'm saying? Because I don't think niggas understand. You feel what I'm saying? We had what you would call the white person out here before the white person European came over here. So I'm gonna just say colonizer, and those colonizers killed all of those bison. So that's my thing, man. You get what I'm talking about? We gotta really understand this. I'm talking about the people that's from out here for right now. Yeah, man. That's it. You know. If you gonna eat chicken, which I still do, but I don't have access to what I want to eat, I would rather you advise you to eat what you call that shit? Gray fowls. You feel me? A gray fowl, or it's not just a gray fowl. You got red fowls, or they call it jungle fowls. You got red jungle fowls, green jungle fowl, gray jungle fowl. That's where the chicken comes from. I saw a book saying plants release a chemical that's not good for you though. What 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 plant it was? Cause some watch this though. Some plants aren't good for you, but it's not because a lot of times I don't know if you've seen it, but it's a movie called Dune. Man, that shit's so raw, and I don't even like Star Wars, but that shit's so raw, it made me want to watch it. But Dune, they got this group in there, the Freemen or whatever, and a lot of them have blue eyes, and they're drinking something called the holy poison or the water of life, and that comes from in real life psilocybin mushrooms, and you mix it. It's a certain type of mushroom, certain type of psilocybin mushroom, and you put it in some water or whatever, and it makes this blue liquid or whatever. It's not actually poison, but that shit they were saying in the movie, it was poison or whatever. But they were utilizing it in a spiritual way, and a lot of ancients done that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because they were alchemists, they were medicine men, and they knew the right amount to put inside of it though. So sometimes you know what I'm saying, you can utilize it, you know, if you know what you're doing. But personally, right? The government or whatever, they be like, after if you want. I ain't get the first name, man. But yeah, if what's that word? The government, whatever you want to call them, they like to put laws on shit. You can't use this, you can't do that, you can't do that. The earth itself is going to tell you what you can and what you can't use. And we see this time after time. With certain animals, they have what do you call that? They be like they have bright colors. That's to warn predators that they're poisonous. It's the same thing with certain plants and shit like that or whatever. You get what I'm saying? And certain plants look like certain plants that's edible, but it ain't edible. You know what I'm saying? We do have lookalikes, but that's just all about us being aware of what's going on the land. A lot of shit that's in the land we can utilize. You feel what I'm saying? And we've been utilizing. So now they don't really tell you what's going on in the land as far as with the plants and stuff. You got to read about it. Oh yeah, hey man, hold on. He said ego death. Yeah, hold on real quick. That's you talking my language for real, because you can do it. Hey, listen, I had an ego death, bro, off acid. August 8th, the Lions Gates on 2020. I uh, I really felt like I was leaving this place, man. That's when I really felt like not felt like, but that's when I knew I didn't know nothing. Right then and there, that's when I knew I didn't know nothing at all. Yeah, bro, like, yeah, bro. I just wanted to be in the arms of my queen at the time. I felt like because like an ego death is also you basically overdosing. You can't overdose and die. This is the death part, the ego death. You know what I'm saying? I never seen nobody just pass away from that shit unless they just did something. But bro, I felt like I was walking around and everything, but I felt like I was laying down in the tub because I remember my family had put me in the shower. I stepped in the shower, clothes on and everything. It just wasn't real to me. Wait, before we talk about this. What do bro, to be honest with you, what did I eat? Um, Nothing, I don't think, bro. I had some candy. No, I had some fruit because around that time when I first started doing that, I used to eat a lot of fruit a whole lot before. So I kind of like fast, drink a lot of water, and then eat some fruit before that. I was trying to be kind of clear. Now it really don't matter. I eat some meat. I'm a savage now. You feel me? But yeah, bro, it was crazy, man. Anything can trigger it. Cause mind you, the only reason I tapped into doing psychedelics is because mind you, I was always probably been that friend that they had that was in the hood that would have tried it, but I just never thought to ever try it. I'm glad I didn't when I was a kid, cause I probably would have tripped the fuck out. But when I got older, I learned about ego death. You know what I'm saying? I used to be a 5%er, and that's what led me to where I'm at right now. And but I learned that all of these guys that we dealing with, we supposed to become them. That was my first phase. Then I tapped into motherfucking Bobby Hemmett. You get what I'm saying? And I was like, oh shit. Okay, he talking the same thing. He's not a 5%er though, but he's talking the same thing, but it's more deeper. And I used to be scared of him. I ain't gonna lie to you. So after that, I just got deeper and deeper into it. Everything. I was watching this dude called Ralph Smart on Infinite Waters. I also watched this dude called Aaron Apke, and he was talking about the Law of One. And I started to grasp that they was talking about like astral projection, and I can astral project and meditate, like with my spirit and all that stuff, my astral body or whatever, and basically power up my spirit faster in the astral realms than here. You know what I'm saying? Like tapping into the gods. So that's just basically how I got into that. Then I understood ego death and how I can experience my higher self through that. So I was like, okay, I could do that through meditation, or I could do that through like psychedelics. So now I started doing my studies on psychedelics and all that. Studied that or whatever. Found somebody that had it. I was doing psychedelics for about 2 years, not like all the time, because I did my study for real. So I went by the study that I had. So I didn't do it like all the time. I didn't have it all the time, but when I did, I still didn't do it all the time. And I never had an experience, man. And I mean, I had like the little visuals. I didn't never see nothing though. You know what I'm saying? But I hallucinated, and I introduced, cause my stepdad, he was on a spiritual path as well, and we was like we started our spiritual journey around the same time. And I introduced him to it, and he ended up finding somebody with the because acid comes in either tabs or on the paper tabs or whatever, or you can get it like the actual thing from where they put it in. That's where he got it from, like the source. So we had it stronger, I guess. So he had some candy, put it on some candy. I took it. I was listening to Kundalini Awakening binaural beats. I was laying on the floor, and they were shooting fireworks. And my stepdad came into the living room like, man, you don't hear that? They shooting outside. I'm like, bro, all you gotta do is ground yourself. It's just fireworks, right? So I laid back down, and a thought came across my head that I just got shot. Like bullets just came through the motherfucking window, and I just got shot. And I got up, and it wasn't like a panic. It was like, fuck, man, this motherfucker just shot me, bro. You feel me? And yeah, I like the jail tabs. That's better to me. And then I was like, fuck. I stumped like, man, bro. You feel me? And yeah, bro, after that shit, it was a trickle effect. So my stepdad, mind you, I say he's going through a spiritual path. So he's like, man, what's going on? He high too. He like, man, we don't die, we don't die. I'm like, man, why the fuck is the motherfucking ambulance coming? Cause I heard ambulance. Bro, anything that's going on, you feel what I'm talking about? It just increases the effect. So I'm like, bro, why is the ambulance coming? So my mom, she was upset. So I didn't know she was upset. I'm thinking she's sad because they didn't shot me. But she was upset because she like, man, you done got my baby hot. But so he in the back like trying to calm her down. I'm thinking he trying to like quiet her up or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? I'm in the front dying, thinking I'm in the tub. You feel what I'm saying? Dude, you make me realize, man. Yeah, man, bro. This shit, it was a real experience, bro. And I knew what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a whole thing that I talk about what to do after you die and all that shit. Or whatever. Many people done talked about it. Whatever. Brother Penny talked about it. I got it from him, and I start reading this book, and I was able to grasp, because this is why initially, like I said, I was getting into this for. You know what I'm saying? That was my ultimate thing, and I understood After that, man, the ancients, this is what they've been doing. So I understood that, but it was like the whole fear aspect. I was like, bro, I got shit I gotta do. The ego. I got shit I gotta do before I leave. I gotta take care of my mom. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Whole time it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. This is why it's getting quiet. Everybody trying to go to sleep. I'm still high, going crazy. But I'm thinking that they quieting it down and all that shit because I'm dying. You feel me? Hold on. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. I just needed somebody. I just needed something to snap me back into reality. But after that, I understood my. I didn't know I was going through it. If they would have told me that's what I was going through, they didn't know. But if they would have told me I was going through that initially, I would have been like, okay, I'm gonna go outside and lay in the grass. Because after about a few hours, and I actually came down, my stepdad was like, man, you all right? We were smoking. He was like, you just had an ego death. I just started crying. You feel me? Yeah, man, it does. But that's why we have meditation. It's not necessarily the way we live, like the day to day life. You feel me? Like a person that's out here in the hood, or a person that's out here, um, fucking what's that word? Going to church every day. It's based on the mentality, I would say, and your not your eagerness to open up, but just having an open mind. If you have an open mind, right, to this shit or whatever, then that's all you need right there. You get what I'm saying? Brother Yosef, I don't know if you know who Brother Yosef is. He was deep into the fucking church, he said, before all of this. Like he was finna be a real big minister. And one day he said he was staying with his mom because he was finna get married, you know what I'm saying? So to save up money, he was staying with his mom, he was in the attic, and then he had an out of body experience where and this is he said he never done none of this, never read none of this. Somebody came to him. It was like a Hindu god. He thought it was Jesus, he said, but the god looked just like him though, just a slimmer version. He said, he looked just like him, and didn't tell him who he was, but that basically made him who he is today. You know what I'm saying? So you can have an experience, period, or somebody be like somebody, but it's harder for us in the hood, I feel like, because we don't have that spiritual influence anymore, like how we had back in the day. The 5%ers used to be all throughout Harlem just giving information or whatever. So if you had an actual spiritual encounter with like a loved one or some shit like that or whatever, you would know what it is. You know what I'm talking about? And you would be able to see it through. Hold on. But like you said, who go keep up? Man, that's I said that because everybody's so caught up into wanting to take over the world, right? I I'm with living off the grid. I'm with self sustainability. So I look into different ways on how to do that. I just saw a video on TikTok how to make a natural fence. Dig up some obviously dig up some dirt, a little perimeter or whatever, and then when you plant your trees or whatever, you plant them in like a fence in a fence fashion. And when the trees grow, they're gonna grow like a fence. You feel what I'm saying? You got shit like that. You have watch this. I don't know how many times, but it's a video out. You can look it up. You take some CDs, right? And I know this is simple, but it's science though. You take some CDs, you take some copper wire, you wrap them a few times or whatever. You put them on like this little like a little wood panel or whatever. You put like some plexi shit on top of it or whatever. Then you get some type of wires like a positive and a negative, obviously or whatever. And then when you put it out in the sun, it emits energy. You feel what I'm talking about? But we wanna actually watch this. Let me tell you something. We actually utilizing natural energy when you buying it from the government and all that stuff, from the state, the city, whatever. That's what you actually doing anyways. They just put a tax on it. So I didn't say that, you know what I'm saying, just to like I guess down anybody. I'm just saying we always talk about I want to take over the world. I want to do this. We need the land back or whatever. Who is going to run this bitch? who knows how to run this motherfucker. That's all I've said. Most people can't even run their fucking house. And that's not that I'm not saying that to be mean or nothing like that. It's just the truth. You know, ain't got the household in order. But you want to run a landmass, not a city, not a state, a landmass. You feel me? You know how much responsibility that is? Because our people are upset. I can't tell them not to be, but they're upset. So it don't matter. And then let me tell you something. If a leader came, truly, not this presidential shit. If a leader came, right, on some real live, we finna take this back over and do all this or whatever, you better be packing some real knowledge, some real information. You better be having something for real, because when it's all said and done, they're gonna be looking at you like, what's up? You know, we don't like to challenge the other people that don't look like us for real. The reason why I say that, because we haven't done it yet. I don't care about what we're seeing right now in society, the little spouts of motherfucking anger and all that. I don't care about none of that. I'm not saying that's what we need to do, but I'm just saying we talk like this. But the minute somebody that looks like us get in some type of power like that or whatever, we gonna be on their ass. You feel me? We gonna be on their ass because we gonna feel like we can talk to them any kind of. That's how we do. We do it anyway in a work field. So it's not gonna be no different, bro. So first, you gotta be able to understand that everybody is their own person. Everybody in their own right is their own individual, and they have their own individual right to do anything as long as they're not impeding on the next individual. Once you have this in order, to be like, okay, I don't agree with you, but we the same person, we the same people. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with you. I can trade amongst you and all types of shit or whatever. You feel me? I respect your territories, your land, wherever you is, your family, all that shit. We allies. Once we get to that point, then we can talk about what everybody else talking about. Until then, cut it, because we already have the infrastructure, the what do you call that shit? The military power and the money power to do it already. What do I mean? We didn't have so many different spiritual leaders, so many different I'm gonna call them tribal leaders, but I'm gonna also say revolutionary leaders. You get what I'm saying? That they call criminals or whatever, gang chiefs. We didn't have so many individuals that gave people what you would call hope. But it couldn't have been hope, because a lot of people be hoping now, and they was standing on some shit back in the day. They was making some shit happen, giving people jobs, houses, food, everything, before they came in and cut the heads off of the body. You feel what I'm talking about? So, but what do we have now? We still have the remnants of that. We still have the information and the blueprints of that, as well as what we've been living in. We can still utilize this as well. We just got to get rid of all of that. And the new people that you usher in, they have to understand how to deal with the people for real. Because we're gonna need some type of governance. That's what I'm getting at. I don't want to do it. But people that's talking about it, I don't I don't I don't feel like they deserve it of it either, because you talk a big game. But what are you doing to actually do it other than just rallying people up? You feel what I'm saying? Also, right? I was watching this one TikTok live, and his name is Top Cats, and not TikTok, it was YouTube. His name is Top Cats, and he said some real shit. He said, "Man, people being alive, like earlier, he was like 200 some people. He said it'd be like thousands of people in the live, and like next thing you know, 300-400 of them just get up and leave. Who be these people? And then if we call these people up, like people be talking about, man, we standing up, we doing this, the Anunnaki guys, yada yada yada. If you called all these people up, right now, we know the ones that can't do it. They not here no more. You know what I'm saying? And when they come up, they try to get them out the way. But the regular people that still be, generating that shit, when you call these people up, where y'all gonna meet up at? And who's gonna come up? It's only gonna be but a few. You know what I'm talking about? It's only gonna be but a few. People you don't want to actually do no work within the community that you living in for real. Doing the work on TikTok, or what you call the work, making these videos. I don't be making videos like that no more, because I'm actually out here in the field for real. I still utilize the blueprint of the 5% mentality, meaning the poor righteous teacher. The poor righteous teacher is in the eyes of Father Allah, Clarence 13X, let's just say Jesus. Not Jesus from the Bible, but the actual Christ, the nigga that was in the hood, chilling with the prostitutes and the drug addicts and shit. Yeah, I'll be around all of that all day long. I don't judge nobody. You feel what I'm saying? You can't talk about I want to heal the people, I want to heal the land, we want to do all this shit, and you can't heal the community that you in when you down in them. These people actually sick, hurting. Man, listen, man, it's this guy, a sex offender. He just hit a little girl, right? Or some little kid or whatever, doing 90 miles per hour. But mind you, he not registered because he failed to register. So he's living in a place where he ain't supposed to be at. It took for him to hit a little kid drunk driving for them to come do something. Mind you, there's people around here that already knowing about it. But because we live in a society where you gotta call the cops or you gotta do all this shit or whatever, the men, the ones that's supposed to be able to, you know what I'm saying, step up and do something, you can't really operate and maneuver how you're supposed to be able to maneuver. Now we gotta sit here and deal with this. Because we do something gonna happen. But I understand it because people gotta take care of their families first. Point blank period. But is you not taking care of your family by getting rid of this predator? You know what I'm talking about? Hold on. Man, TikTok just wanted me to verify myself. For what? Yeah, man, it got it like some has to happen. You know what I'm saying? But it has to start at home though. You get what I'm saying? It has to happen at home from within. Like this shit has to be passed down. You get what I'm saying? We don't even know our ancestors truly. The ancestors people be talking about is people that you really don't know. You get what I'm talking about? But you can go back 4 or 5 generations. You probably can't go back in your knowledge, like actually knowing what your experience or whatever may be, if you know, depending on your genes. But you have family members that can tell you about this shit. These stories is the stories that you got to keep because these are the stories of your family, your bloodline that you have connection to. Why is that important? Because while we like to talk about history and all that stuff or whatever, we don't ever want to talk about the mystery, my story or your story. You get what I'm saying? Your story is your actual family bloodline. We like to cry about being, watch this, I just learned something. We like to cry about being, I was, I was a slave and I was this, that, and third. My grandma, Frances Boyd, so going back 5 generations, she was a Choctaw freedman or Choctaw, if you don't want to use the exonym. So, but watch this, the Choctaw or my grandma, my family would tell you that that was the last slave in our family. She died when she was 115. When I looked her up, at the time of being freed, she would have been 14 years old. But she was a Choctaw freedman. We don't understand what these mean. Creek freedmen, Cherokee freedmen, and all that stuff. We know how the Cherokee and a few other different tribes got kicked out of Georgia from Georgia to Tulsa, Oklahoma, from the Trail of Tears or whatever. What we don't know is they had slaves with them. The slave trade that everybody is mad about is the transatlantic slave trade. That's what you know about. That's the story that was given. What we don't know about, right, is the Spanish American War and how they took people from over here and brought them over there. You know what I'm saying, to Spain and all types of other shit. You know what I'm saying? Also, they don't know about how we ran slavery too. If you stole from somebody, your ass was the slave of the person you stole from. You feel what I'm saying? And then we had what you would call POWs, prisoners of war, but we didn't do it. It wasn't done how slavery was given to you like that. Like people, they was regular people. They just were slaves, indentured servants. You feel what I'm saying? A worker, basically. And this was the contract. And you can work yourself out of the contract. You can marry a freeman, all types of shit. That's what was going on. So if she was actually a slave, she was a slave to the Choctaw freedom, to the Choctaws, the Choctaw Nation. And if she was a slave, right? Because I'm obviously discolored, so that means she obviously discolored too. And the Choctaws is obviously discolored too. And they were obviously, right, enslaving each other, meaning like all the tribes that was around, all the tribes that was around at that time in that area, because she from Mississippi, was the Creeks, which is like with the Yamasi and shit like that or whatever, the Choctaw, um, the Chickasaw, shit like that. So I know where I came from. I come right from out here. They don't want you to know that, because if you knew that, you understand how much power you have here. It ain't, see, now it's not just about knowing who you are. Oh, I'm a god, and I'm this, and I'm that. I'm a god, and this is my throne I'm standing on. I'm home. When you actually realize, bro, I'm home, what can be done to you for real, for real? You feel what I'm saying? I say I can't go to a different continent, right? And say I'm home, or I don't have no connections for real. For I don't know nobody. I don't know the structure. My ancestors was not there breathing that land for however many years. My ancestors been out here. So genetically, right, my genome structure will be different. They like to say that we come from over there because our phenome type looks like that. But everybody, everywhere, like every country, every continent or whatever, the indigenous people look like this. But the genome is different. Because later today, you're gonna have people that look different from them, like just like how you have people out here, or whatever. But when you look at the genetics, it's gonna be closely related to this place. They don't test that part. They test what you look like. So if you look like a monkey, they're gonna tell you you came from a monkey. Damn near. There's so many words. That's what I've said. Not to mention that it says, um, talking about the DNA thing, for entertainment purposes only. So you got to know who and what you is. And what I noticed, every individual spiritual leader that came out, and we can go down and name them all, but I don't even feel like doing that. Every one of them, they have said, let's go back over there and let's do this, let's do that. But at some point in time in their careers, they said, hey, people, you know you actually from out here, right? And they slayed their ass. And I'm not saying that's the actual reason, but shit, it ain't no coincidence. I don't really believe in coincidences for real. You know what I'm talking about? I believe in divine timing. Um, if you understand the Kabbalah, you understand going from the kingdom to Ein Sof. The kingdom is now Kuf. So that's the bottom. That's where we at right now. And Ein Sof is supposed to be the highest. Ein Sof Earth. Right? That's Sophia, that's wisdom, that's the great mother, that's the darkness. When you close your eyes, that's what you tapping into. That's everything, right? That's it's not a God, it's nothing, it's a mental state that you're going to. The state of no self, right? The United States of America, right? US of A is you sofa. Ein Sof. Ein Sof Earth. I understand now why we are not supposed to know who we are. You get me? But it's not up to them. You know what I'm saying? It's up to you. We can't allow fear or anything to deter us from doing what we're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And we can't tell nobody, or we can't allow nobody to tell us what we're supposed to be doing. You feel me? Like, I can't get up here and say, hey man, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I can now that it don't matter if I say something and then later date you be like, okay, woo, woo. That might have been giving you some advice. That's different from telling you what you actually gotta do. Because some people, they just want to, they just want the power from what's that word? They want the power for themselves, and they want to live on. So I was watching Jaguar Wright, and she was talking about this. Now, I don't like talking about nobody spiritual at all that claim to be spiritual, nothing. But when I see something that I really don't like, I'm gonna say something. And it's one guy that I just really feel like, bro, they should have been got rid of him. And it was Nature Boy. And she was talking about him. She was like, that dude gonna live on. They just put him in jail, and he gonna recruit people, and they gonna go home, and you know what I'm saying, do his bidding. And she was absolutely right. And I'm like, damn, I never thought about it like that. Cause he wicked as hell. He can get some males. We ain't talking about the goddesses, cause he gonna get the males from there, and they gonna, you know what I'm saying. And I was like, damn. It took them a minute to get him, cause I always thought, what, bro, like, if you didn't got all these other people, why you ain't got him, bro? He didn't, you know what I'm saying. He didn't say too much. You know what I'm saying. And I ain't saying too much information, like good information. He didn't say he was doing too much, and he ain't do nothing. And then they got him, and then she said it was she said, and I was like, oh shit, it makes sense. What are we doing to protect that? You know what I'm saying? For years, we thought the fight was with people that we didn't look like. The fight is with ourselves. You know what I'm talking about? The fight is with ourselves, bro. Even for the people that don't look like us. Fight is still within yourself, man. Because you gotta rise to the occasion. The occasion of being your higher self. Who is your higher self? I can't tell you that. Because what you was doing in your past life and what you was dealing with, right, is going to is gonna show in this age right now. You know what I'm saying? You're not, ooh, I'm Osiris. Ooh, I'm this. You know how many Osiris it is out here? Why do you know why? Why is it that you can get a reading and they will tell you you come from this star system, and then you go here and they tell you come from that star system? Because you didn't dealt with it in a different past life than this. It's like advancing through college. We just do it in lives. A semester is a lifetime. You know what I'm talking about? And it can last for what we think it is a lifetime, like, you know what I'm saying, from birth to like 70, 80, 100 years old or whatever. Or it can just be shit from birth to motherfucking uh, uh, a few days old, or a month, or 2, 3, you know what I'm saying, or motherfucking 5, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that or whatever. It's all about the information you came here to get. The information you came here to get could have took you a lifetime because of all the obstacles. And the obstacles could have been the distractions. Man, I came down here and got caught up in love. You feel what I'm saying? But because you didn't open that contract, people like to talk about contract. Because you didn't open that contract, you feel what I'm saying, and you didn't finish it, now you got what you call a karmatic relationship. Now I'm back here wondering why I'm back here, because I done did this before. I'm spiritual. I knew I was spiritual. I'm saying I did this before, but all I got to do, right, is probably interact with one individual. Now I'm gone. It'd be something as simple as that. That's how you gotta look at it. That's how simple it is. Not that grand how we think it is, for real, for real. It's as simple as that. And that's how we gotta look at it. The reason why is because it's really supposed to be first nature. It's not supposed to be second nature. It's really our right way of thinking. I'm not saying it's a right or wrong way, but I'm saying it's the proper way in utilizing our minds. You get what I'm talking about? They say you will not exist. You will cease to exist if you able to open up 100% of your mind. That's the individuals that don't have what we have and haven't done what we done. If we didn't do this, we would, yeah, it'd be over with. That's too much knowledge. It's too much light. You get me? Too much knowledge, too much light. But over time, you done gained it, slowly but surely. Now we in a time to where it's just happening at a fast rate. It's chaotic, right? We don't like to use the word chaos because we think it's bad. But chaos is everything happening all at once. We're able to stand in the middle of that because that's what we is, the middle point. When you look on the clock, right? You got 12 numbers, the 12 zodiacs, and it's one dot in the middle. That's the dot on the Kabbalah. You feel what I'm saying? On the back of the Kabbalah, that's the Kalipah. So that's the flip side. The dark side is what's pushing the light out. You feel what I'm saying? Out of the darkness comes the light. So this new light that we're creating, right, has to go back into the darkness, right? Or this light that we're dealing with has to go back into the darkness or whatever to create the new light. You feel what I'm saying? The light that we living in right now, whatever, is the light that they talk about in the old text and all that shit. It's already been here and it's dying out. Why is it dying out? Because there's a new light coming and emitting. You feel what I'm talking about? All these solar flares that you see on the sun or whatever, when you look on the sun has a chromosphere. And when you look in your DNA, right, you have chromosomes. It's the same thing. So when the sun is having solar flares, what do you think is happening inside of you? You got a synonymous relationship going on with the sun. Back in the day, right, before we had suns, this really don't tell us. Back in the day, before we had suns, where we used to deal with the Sirius star system. This is why a lot of individuals like to tell you, "Oh man, we come from Sirius, and we out the bed. We always been here. It may have not been called Earth, but we always been here. But we just dealt with different star systems. You know that because that's how the cycles work. We don't do it now though. We just tell you in Mercury retrograde, and we just in the age of fucking Pisces, and now age of Aquarius. But no, there was a time when now we age of Osiris, the age of Orion. Now we dealing with that or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? The age of Sirius or Canis Major, the dog star. You feel what I'm talking about? And that's what we dealt with. You know what I'm saying? And you will have visions and interactions with different beings that's supposed to come from there or whatever, but it's literally just like an antenna or a frequency a beaker or whatever. Beacon. Reason being is because you want to go deeper into that, right? Damn, I forgot the name of the book, but it's on my TikTok though. I talked about it. It's like it's pinned on the first page or whatever, on the first, at top. But I talked about how there was nothing up there. Like when you look up, there's nothing up there. Why is nothing up there? Oh, but I see something. You see a mirror. Why do you see a mirror? Well, we know that they create clouds. We're not going to get deep into that. We know they create clouds. We also know that the quote unquote sky is supposed to be reflecting the ocean. Okay. We also know, right? When you ain't no piercing the electromagnetic sphere. What is the electromagnetic sphere? The electromagnetic sphere is supposed to be protecting us from ultraviolet radiation, which in fact, right, we can absorb. So what is it actually protecting us from? You feel what I'm saying? So not saying it can't be pierced, but you have to have the technological advancements to pierce it. You feel what I'm saying? Or to be able to manipulate it, right? Now, everybody always like to talk about, oh man, you know what I'm saying, the ice walls and yada yada yada, but they don't never go no deeper because they don't know nothing. They just be talking. You feel what I'm saying? Outside the ice walls of what you will find is different land masses. They don't ever give you no names, but you know the names already. You're familiar with it. The different names is the different star systems is what you see. You feel what I'm saying? The land of Mars, the land of Orion, um, the land of Jupiter, all of that crazy shit, and many more. You feel what I'm talking about? The Mermaid Islands, all of that's there. The ancestral lands, all of that's there, right? Now, if all that's there, that means all that was supposed to be in the galaxy, or what you were supposed to see up there. So what I'm getting at is right, if you understand the position and where Orion is or whatever, right, and you see the map of the actual, like the land mass is supposed to be 178. If you could see the actual land masses and the position and where that is, it would be the same position as if like the land masses where Earth is. If you can see where that is and how close it is to Orion, you will see that it's positioned as if it's mirroring it. You feel what I'm talking about? So it's really not that far from here. You feel what I'm talking about? We just don't know where the fuck we at. There's certain places you can't go in the world. And we ain't just finna say America. We know that. There's certain places you can't go in the world. You go too far, they got like certain perimeters set up. Like certain ships pull up and all type of shit. You feel what I'm saying? And if you get past it, they got bigger ships that's gonna be there waiting on you type shit or whatever. You feel what I'm talking about? What they call them breaker ships. Icebreakers. You feel what I'm talking about? Yeah, bro, literally, bro. You know what I'm talking about? And what they call these places, these land masses or whatever, they call them land masses, but they're supposed to have domes over them too. Everybody say we live in a dome. It's supposed to be domes over them too. But the thing is, you're supposed to go into deep space. They tell you about outer space. You can't get to outer space because there is nothing there, right? Now, why am I saying there's nothing there? Because we don't have access to it, just like how you said, like a video game. In video games, you have an imaginary boundary line, meaning you can't go past it. That's there, you can't go past that. So there is a space up there, and you see it every day. I'm watching a plane fly right now in aerospace. It's an aeroplane flying through aerospace or outer space. That's that right there. But they can't reach the outermost regions of space. They won't be able to survive that. But they can go into deep space, and we have accounts of that. Why do I say that? When they talk about what do you call that? The astronauts going into space or whatever, or when they training, they going inside of water. You feel what I'm saying? Or when they talk about Mars or whatever, they in Nevada somewhere or New Mexico in the what do you call that, in the desert. And then when you look on the walls though, when you look on the walls of like certain like Chinese places, like over there in China or Asia, and certain places in Africa, they have different hieroglyphics of people that's wearing what do you call that? What it looks like to be aquatic gear. You know what I'm saying? To go underwater or whatever. All of these different movies telling you about what's down there or whatever. Let me say this also, because I gotta bring this up if we talk about this. There's a guy, I don't know his name, but if you in on this, you know exactly who he is. He's a white guy. It's a long time ago, probably like in the early 2000s, maybe, I don't know, because I'm going based off the video. He did like what is it called? An interview, and he was like a scuba diver or some shit like that or whatever, scientist. But he found out that it was like another lake under, like, deep in the ocean or whatever, and it was some type of like buoyancy to it because like the minerals in it made it do that. But he was under the impression that it was a whole other world under that or whatever. What they do to him? They got rid of him, right? But watch this though. Few years later, right, which would be like few years later would be like 2018. They come out, I think it's 2018. They come out with the movie The Meg, right? The Megalodon. In that movie, you have a scientist that says, "Hey, there's another lake or ocean within inside the ocean, and it has some type of buoyancy to it, and based on the minerals or whatever, that's why it's happening. But if we have this special type of fucking ship or whatever, we can pierce it. And when they do pierce it, they figure out it's a whole nother new thing down there. You know what I'm saying? Like new lives down there that can live based upon the elemental structure down there. You know what I'm saying? And if you saw the movie, you seen what happened. And then that movie is also connected to, what is it called? The Deep, because they go into the Mariana Trench. The reason why? Because in the next movie, the next movie, Megalodon 2, they're inside the Mariana Trench. And you know what was happening in the Mariana Trench. All that fire and all that shit or whatever. Bro, they know what's going on. See, I be knowing what be going on. I just don't be speaking on it like that because it's really not important. It is, but only if you know what's going on. You know what I'm talking about? You can't tell a person that don't know what's going on. You be like, oh, why? I gotta warn them. Fuck you warn them for? You feel what I'm saying? I ain't got time for all of that. It's not even a warning. This is something that's inevitable. So when you level up, supposedly, right? And I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not afraid to tell you I don't know. Supposedly, the region that we see up there in the sky is supposed to open up, right? It's supposed to open up like back in the day, and then you can actually travel. You feel what I'm talking about? And do all that shit. Do I believe that? No. I don't really believe in anything, but not really, because of what I said, the proof of what I found, the evidence that I seen, and I studied or whatever. When you travel deep into these regions or whatever, if you know where to go, and then we do have different stargates or whatever. Like we have different stargates here. You able to what's that word? Go to these different places. You feel what I'm saying? And watch this. Another thing. Earlier, what I was talking about, why I feel like we not Anunnaki and all of that shit or whatever. Because the quote unquote beings, because it's not just humanoid beings or whatever that's supposed to exist over there. It's for all types of shit, right? They really take take pride in having a connection to what you would call the humans or us. You know what I'm saying? Because of who we are throughout the galaxy. Also, the enemy, right? Like the main enemy who they fighting over there, right? They call them the custodians, but they've been called many other things. One of them being the Anunnaki. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got time to be claiming that shit, bro, because these beings look like us, or some of them look like us. That's fine. That's gonna happen. But you don't understand what's that word? The true nature and what you are. We birth, we birth universes, galaxies, and worlds. Not just this one. Let me just tell you that. We birth universes, galaxies, worlds. Right? Not just this. Not just this. We are the parents of what you call the gods or the elements. You know what I'm saying? Hey, let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me, because my headphone just they just went out. All right, bet. So like, we the parents of the gods. They tell you this, you get what I'm saying, in Greek mythology. You know, Greek mythology is part of our actual history. Not Greek philosophy, Greek mythology. Understand where Greek mythology came from, the ancient Etruscans. So the story that they were telling about the Titans and the gods and all that stuff, they were talking about us. So the Titans, right, birth what you would call Olympians. We didn't have a word gods. We had Neteru, we had Anunnaki. What they call the ancient Sumerians, the Dagon. You feel I'm talking about? The Nomo. We had different names for these beings. You feel I'm talking about? In plural form. Elohim, shit like that. You feel I'm talking about? So we didn't have no name for no gods because we understood what we were and what these things were. But now I'm talking about prior to that. Prior to that, we just existed as pure energy. Now we just can't get that. This is what I mean about the chaos form. And this is how we can do that. This is how you can live a chaotic life and it don't really look like that. A lot of our lives be chaotic as hell, but it really don't look like that or whatever because we conscious and aware. And some of us don't even have to be. It's just naturally in us. So when we become conscious, we just that more dangerous. You know what I'm saying? So we just existed as natural energy. You feel what I'm talking about? And natural energy it created all this other shit of what you would call the gods, the Olympians, yada, 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 whatever. You know the story, right? They fought for power. Different energies are fighting for supremacy. You feel what I'm talking about? That's just what it does. You have a higher self and a lower self that's fighting for supremacy. Your higher self being your subconscious mind, right? Your lower self being your conscious mind, because it's equated to your ego, right? Who you think you are, who you think you not, who you want to be, the shit you like, the shit you don't like, right? Unless you actually had that subconscious impact on yourself to know, I really don't like that. I ain't really tapping into that. Nah, I ain't fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? You just basing it off of what somebody else said. Bro, that's not right, bro. You know what I'm talking about? So after this, you ain't supposed to be like, nigga, we ain't Anunnaki because dude said that. No, you supposed to study why I said this, bro. I did my research. Right? I had already had a few little imps, you feel I'm talking about, but I knew where to look. And I found it. And I wasn't even looking for that. I was looking for something else. So that's besides the point. But it just further confirmed my shit, because all of these things are just different variations of the same thing, right? So that's why I always go back to like the oldest part. The oldest part that we can go back to is the Greek mythology. You feel what I'm talking about? We like, oh, let's talk about the Egyptians on us. They're not talking about Titans. They're not talking about what's that word? The primordials. They talking about the Ogdoad. The Ogdoad is what you call the Enid, the gods, the Elohim, the Neteru. Let's talk about before them. They do have an aspect of it when they talk about the Apophis and all of that shit or whatever fighting. But we talking about before that, and they talking about in our natural forms. Titans. Because what is a Titan? What did Zeus do to the Titans? His parents. He didn't kill them.
This was supposed to be a war. This is the war, what they talking about, the war in the heavens. 10 years, but it ain't gonna be 10 years in our years, but it's actually, so if you understand that, it's actually longer, but 10 years to give us a word. This is what they say. So what did he do? They fighting when he destroyed him, because he utilized other titans that was locked down by us. It's still a fight with yourself, like I said. You know what I'm talking about? He overpowered them, crushed them up, and created man. What the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck are you? Bobby Hemming used to always say melanin is a substance, an ancient primordial substance left over from a different dimension or another world or whatever, a dead world. Yeah. Yes. That's what it is. That's why you're able to tap into what you would call the dead spirits. Did you know in the other dimensions, right? They call us dead. They're alive because they're dealing in light. They can take a cigarette and take the light from it, the energy from it. We just smoking it, and it's actually killing us slowly because we inhaling all of this shit. Man, I'm finna have to go in a minute. They gotta go to work. I don't know why I've been up just building with y'all, but look, yeah, you know what I'm saying? They able to do that. So they call us something completely different. But that's because, you ready for this? Some of us identify as our bodies. We don't understand that we actually operate from a different level of existence. You feel what I'm saying? But like a video game, we playing this body, but we still got to understand that you got the controller. It's some people that's wicked as hell and know, man, I can gain control over this dude. He got some power. They can sense you and just, you know what I'm saying, manipulate that. So you got to be, that's why I was saying you got to be aware of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you got these beings that like, and this is another reason why I say I don't like to talk about the different religions and shit like that no more, because I understand the power of an egregore. An egregore is a mental thought form. You know what I'm saying? So let's say Jesus Christ wasn't never real at all, point blank period. There wasn't even no history of him, right? Even though you can find the story of Jesus in the Coptic text, which is Horus. It says Horus Christ before they changed it. This is the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? 1945 they found this in Nag Hammadi, Egypt. They call it the Nag Hammadi Library. Find that. You got to find an old version of it though, because they, like I said, they changed it. But you gonna know. You feel what I'm saying? This is Gnosticism. So you still gonna find it point blank period, but that's the Gnostic Christ. You feel what I'm saying? But let's just say Jesus never existed or whatever, right? And then they just wrote about him, whatever, right? That nigga exists now. Why he exists now? Because the power of an egregore is thousands of people that are initiated and actually, you know what I'm saying, tapped into it. And when I say that, I'm just talking about like how we was indoctrinated, right? Okay. Then you have like the Muslims even talk about him. The Hindus even talk about him. All over the world, Jesus is, right, the main guy everybody talk about. So people always thinking about him, putting their trust in him or this energy or whatever, it's going to exist, right? Because what you call the mental plane or the fourth dimension, right, is your mental plane or the, you know, astral world, spirit realm, whatever. That comes from our mind. It's higher dimensions, but you got to first master your mind before you can even exist inside of that, because already you exist inside of your mind right now. So you got to first, you got to first lift the veil over your eye. The veil is the physical reality. You feel what I'm talking about? So everything is up for question in this motherfucker. You get what I'm talking about? Everything that's coming to you with the physical existence is up for question. Because if you're not able to sense that shit, the true intentions with your third eye, with your intuition and all that shit or whatever, I might as well go ahead and get up out your presence. Because you could be possibly trying to take my energy or whatever. Your mama, your daddy, it don't matter. You get me? That's how serious this is. Because at the end of the day, I done had many moms, I done had many dads. I done been a mom, I done been a dad. A son, a daughter. All types of shit. I had to have that experience. Bro. So, like I said before, We ain't finna go too deep. It's 5:33 where I'm at. Yeah, man, I appreciate you too. I was flagged for hate speech. I do not know why. Right? I don't know why. Y'all, it's been the same people. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about nothing too crazy, but they just said I was flagged for hate speech. I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the birds definitely chirping, man. Like you talking to your own. Yeah, man. That's it. That's all. Personally, bro, you know, people like to say we reflections of each other. I do agree with that. Based upon what you dealing with right now in your life, based upon what I'm dealing with in my life, brought us together right now at this moment right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm an aspect of you, you an aspect of me, just because we have an interaction. I like to think that, you know, when you playing a video game, most of the people that you playing a video game are just collecting fucking space. They're not real. So the people that you don't know about, like the people over there that's across the way or whatever, when I be seeing them out here, they not even real to me. I don't know them. I don't know what they doing, none of that stuff. But now I'm interacting with y'all. I can recognize y'all as real individuals, as main characters within this what we call the game. You get what I'm talking about? And that's all it is. And how can I utilize information that you give me to better myself, and vice versa? That's all it's about. Cause we in it together. You're not by yourself for real. But it is some shit you gotta do by yourself. The side quest you gotta go ahead and just do by yourself. The main things you gotta go ahead and do by yourself. You know what I'm talking about? But you got allies once you recognized as a real individual in this thing. You feel what I'm talking about? Not everybody is for let me try to say I'm trying to do this. I'm sitting up here talking about what I feel like to be positive things. And TikTok just said you've been flagged for hate speech. Dang, what did I do? I ain't did nothing. But you know what I'm saying? We are more than that. We are better than that. You know what I'm talking about? All of us collectively. Because you can't never tell what a person was doing in their past life. You get what I'm talking about? You can't never tell a person exactly what they was doing. But with that being said, I got to go for real now because I got to get ready. Y'all be safe out there. I don't know when I'm finna be going live for real. I don't really be doing this like that. I know I need to be out here. But I just had a son. And that little nigga is the, man, that nigga the best, bro. And I'm really going through something right now. And the time, so with everything I'm going through right now, he really just get me through this. So I really don't be having time to go through this. But I got a third shift job, so I was just feeling it. I don't know why I was up. But I'm up now. I've been up for 7 hours before I was even supposed to be going to work. You know what I'm talking about? So shit. Yeah, man. Yeah, I know, bro. I had to try to catch myself because I ain't trying to cry on the live, bro. I don't do all that because I feel like you get on camera and then, bro, you had to set it all that up and then you ready and then you just cry. No, bro, I ain't do all that. I ain't with it, bro. I ain't with it. You feel me? But y'all be safe out there, man. You know what I'm talking about? What they said, it was like 6 or 7 police that had just got, you know what I'm saying, clapped down here. You feel what I'm talking about? I'm in Charlotte. Yeah, it was some dude out here, bro. He had like a 50 cal. I don't know. Going crazy. So y'all be safe, man, because a stray don't got no name on it. And, yeah, man. Keep that energy up, bro. You feel me? Yeah, they not playing, man. For real. Be safe out there, y'all. Love.